Study Smart series brought to you by the Academy features Will Robbins, a past pupil and study expert, here to show you his 7 steps towards achieving what he did in his Leaving Cert, and myself, David Lewis, maths teacher, biology teacher and study skills coach here at the Dublin Academy. Okay, so post number 2, Will. I really enjoyed this one as well.
Yeah.
I know it's one that once we mention the word, a lot of students will turn off away from. It was about goal setting for the year. And I think this is massively important. Every single thing you do, every single class you go to is all about this. There should be a goal for it. You're not just there to tick a box. So could you talk us through why you think it's important for students to set goals, why they were reluctant to set goals, and then just through your process that you've posted about?
Yeah, so obviously people kind of have students might have kind of a natural kind of they might flinch when they hear the word goal setting and maybe say, I don't have time for that. But I think goals are really important. Obviously the goals are going to be somewhat similar for a lot of students, get the most Leaving Cert points I can. But it's important to be kind of specific about them and what would a good Leaving Cert look like for you, and then to actually kind of go through like what that would feel like and what would the benefits of that be. So like if you have spent any time on kind of YouTube and that kind of motivational genre, you will have been shouted at a few times, no doubt, by the likes of Eric Thomas and those kind of characters to have goals, have vision, and work harder. And setting goals is great, but there's a way to do it, and I thought we might kind of speak a bit about that today. What you want is you want goals because going back to the ancient Greeks, they kind of discovered we're teleological beings, so that is like motivated by targets, right? Viktor Frankl, a couple thousand years later, came to the same conclusion in his concentration camp that humans, they don't need stability or homeostasis. They need something worth struggling for, something worth striving towards. So that goals are important, but you also need kind of systems accompanying them, because it's easy to kind of stay in that imagined future state, that kind of reverie, without kind of getting real about it and taking practical steps toward it. So something I've found actually very useful is the WHOOP goal setting framework. And I'll just speak a little bit about each of the steps. So the first step is your wish, which is probably where a lot of people stay. It's like, imagine if I got this result. So I do encourage people to write this down, like whatever many points you want to get, what you want to achieve in the Leaving Cert, but to spend as little time there as possible, because there's been a lot of research done on this, and they found that like the psychological effects of spending too much time in this stage is actually like similar to when we're watching a movie and like we forget we're not the character. It's why we get so engaged in movies, because we think it's us. Likewise, if we're kind of imagining our future selves, we kind of already kind of almost in our box tick the box in our mind, kind of tick the box to say like, I've already done that, when really haven't. So write down the wish, but straight away, as soon as you can, get on to the outcome. So the outcome is kind of where the rubber meets the road. It's like, what would the actual tangible benefits accompanying the achievement of that goal be? So that could be, well, I'd feel a real sense of pride for having taken on a really hard challenge and doing well on it, or I'll be able to study this course, and I'd really enjoy that. Whatever it is for you, and so getting really clear on what the actual benefits accompanying the goal would be, because that's what you're actually going to experience when you get there. You're not going to experience the wish. And then the really important part here is obstacle. So between you and any goal, there's going to be roadblocks, right? That's what makes it kind of that's what makes it something that you have to strive towards. So you're going to have a good few obstacles within yourself that you're going to overcome, and external ones as well. So getting kind of clear on those, if you're not clear about what those are, you're probably not going to be able to overcome them. So kind of getting clear what has stood in my way in the past when I've tried to achieve these things, and what are the main kind of things I'm going to have to overcome in the next year if I want to do this, and kind of write those obstacles out. And then you want to move on to your plan. So if a certain obstacle arises, then I will do this. You can think of it as kind of like an if then algorithm in your mind. So if I feel the urge to procrastinate, then I will say do a quick 25-minute Pomodoro session or whatever the case may be. And I think this framework was developed by Gabriel Odejan, and it's after like a ton of research, and it's proven to be like the most effective way of setting goals rather than just kind of dreaming about some future state that might not even arrive, and probably won't if you don't actually plan for it.
One of the things that I really like when I went through that platform myself is the wish to outcome, because we automatically already think that in the future we're going to have more time than we currently have, or you're going to be a different person, or it's very easy to procrastinate, as you said, or put study or something off to later on. So by getting into your outcome and getting into some actions, keeping it as little time as possible in your wish or in the future you, I think that's absolutely crucial. And then the if-then technique can be used for so many students in so many different areas. For example, if I can't do a certain sum, then I will look for the solution online, then I will ask my friend, then I will bring it to my teacher, then I will go back to the basics, and coming up with these possible solutions versus here's a problem, don't even have a framework to go, it's just another problem weighing on top of me after that.
Yeah, it's empowering because you want goals obviously to have a target for what you're aiming for, and those kind of if-then algorithms that you hold in your mind, they can help you actually systematize the things that you want to achieve.
Okay, so I'd suggest that every single one of these ideas comes in with a downloadable. You might have a wish for your overall Leaving Cert, for outside the Leaving Cert. You might have a wish for the way the year is. But really put a little bit of writing in it. I think putting the writing down is fantastic with the downloadables, because you get what's in your head down into an actual piece, and you can't just write down the kind of random unconnected wishes you have in your head. You have to put some sort of structure on them, and I think that's fantastic.